All right, guys. Welcome to another episode of The Ride. Today we have Trevor Gammon from Kea Distribution. Trevor, nice to have you on the show. How are you today?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So, Trevor, you have been heavily involved in the riding industry, both in obviously riding yourself a lot. I know you're telling me about your BMX days to owning your own store,
Allied Action
Sports out in the West Coast. And now you're Kea Distribution distributing the 79 bikes.
Yeah.
So why don't you take us back to the beginning where it started, just I guess from yourself, like your own riding experiences and how that evolved to where you are today.
Basically I started in BMX freestyle, working in shops, ended up starting Allied in 2020. Tried to be more like a action sports retailer rather than just BMX bikes. And that's kind of how I got into the powered bike thing. Basically saw Sur-Ron come out in 2019, something like that, and I was just like, this is the future.
For sure. So you got it. You got them. You brought them into your store.
Yeah. So we started working with Sur-Ron.
What, in 2020, 2020. Okay. So you're an early adopter for sure. I think we were the first epicycles at 2019.
Yeah.
We brought them in direct. And
not to brag or anything.
yeah. But obviously amazing bikes still, kind of the golden staple of the e-moto world today.
Definitely, I think the form factor of, in that size of bike, really, I think all bikes in this size category, at least for light BX, they, engineering wise, they have to look like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like how you were explaining to me before, like a BMX bike. Whoever developed a BMX bike, they all look the same.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Just little tweaks.
We know what works, and it's like, and a motocross bike too. They haven't changed since the '80s, since they came out with the the rear suspension monocross or whatever, monoshock in the rear, and like all motocross bikes look the same now. They basically, it's because that's the way they work and they function best. So
in fact, they look so much the same. They just pick colors now.
Absolutely.
Kawasaki is the green one, Honda's the red one, and Yamaha's the blue ones. Sometimes yellow.
KTM's the orange.
But they all look the same.
Essentially, And so in light BX size, and I like to call them powered bikes. It's not quite. It's not e-mountain biking, and it's not full on e-motocross. So it's powered bike basically, and anything in this size category I think that's relevant will be exactly like a light BX, everything down to the primary belt, gear reduction to drive. You want a hot swappable battery essentially, so it'll look like a light BX. A lot.
It's the perfect form, as you're saying. That's like you can't really change it.
Yeah.
And that's
I think
just
they could
the way
get
it is.
A little bit bigger in the cockpit, but But other than that, they're going to look pretty much the same. So
right.
So in 2020, I saw those, and we started to run away with working with Sur-Ron, and so with Allied, I did a lot of. I was the first eBMX distributor in Canada.
Okay.
Originally, when I started working with them back when it used to be BACs and stuff like that, putting BACs on bikes. So I got a lot of experience.
That was ASI.
Yeah, ASI, which is here local to the Ottawa area or whatever.
I think it's in Waterloo, actually.
Waterloo,
Ontario. Yeah, they're out of there.
But then
they developed their own version. They started
eBMX. Moved on because ASI wants nothing to do with powered bikes. Apparently, so
why?
Yeah, it's silly. It's a huge market.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah.
They never wanted to support it. Never wanted are extremely difficult to deal with in terms of programming and getting access, allowing retailers and guys to work with the programming and stuff like that. So
the rumor has it that the original back controller is a forklift controller.
that's correct. It's actually go-karts too, or not go-karts, golf carts.
Okay.
I believe that's kind of where they stem from. Yeah.
So do you feel like that has anything does that have any relation to why they don't want to mess with e-bikes? Like they want to kind of stick with their market, or?
Yeah. I guess maybe they just, they have their direction, and that's
where they want to focus.
Where they want to, and, fair enough. We moved on, and it's nice to, as soon as controllers became, bespoke to what we're doing, whether it's the Sur-Ron or, built for these bikes, it was the way to go. It's like, the BAC doesn't have mounts to mount on our bikes, really. Like it's, now with the controllers that are properly built for the bikes, it's a no-brainer.
Right. And I heard as well the EBMX controllers originally were designed actually for forklifts.
The new ones?
Well, I don't know the new ones, but the original ones.
The backs.
Well, that's because they're
the backs?
BACs.
The backs,
That's because
yeah,
they're
yeah.
BACs.
Okay.
They're just taking
so that's
those.
what- okay.
They're just taking those controllers and using them on bikes.
Yeah.
I see.
Bikes, yeah,
I see.
so-
Okay.
Now with Allied, you guys were selling BMX bikes as well.
Yeah.
You guys were doing everything.
Yeah, BMX bikes, safety gear, ramps.
How did you feel like Sur-Ron and like the power bike, electric e-bike market fell into the overall action sports branding?
Yeah, because it's an action sport. Nobody really supports it. I think it's a challenge getting even motocross dealers to adopt. I think motocross dealers, in many ways, they're like, if it doesn't have a motor and doesn't go brap, they were really reluctant to dive into the market. You did start to see a lot of motocross dealers start to realize like, oh, there's potential market. Margins are better than what they can get on actual motocross bikes, and they're easy sells. So that's why some of the, they were slow to adopt, some of the dealers, but some of them did, and then it has more dealers started to get them. Other dealers started going, oh, hey, maybe we should get them too.
Yeah.
So
do you feel like where do you feel like most of the market is right now in Canada as far as like dealers and retailers?
Definitely here on Eastern Canada, just due to market size over here. It seems definitely larger over here, but definitely in BC, Alberta, there's quite a few large dealers.
But you feel like the market is in bike shops, or you feel like it's in motorcycle stores? Like,
yeah, it's in motorcycle stores, but it's nice to see, retailers like Epic, that are, kind of focusing on this market and really championing it, so to speak. So
for sure. Yeah, because I personally feel like they're more like aligned with the bicycle action sports market as opposed to like the dirt bike market. Like it just feels, I don't know, that's like where I came from, and I feel like a lot of kids are transitioning from like pedal bikes to Sur-Rons, not reverting from dirt bikes back down. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. It is the new BMX bike, I think, in many ways. It's opens up the doors for kids.
The new bike life culture, basically evolving. As we've said before, right? So
we see it like, the big wheel bikes or whatever.
SEs, Thrones.
There's the wheelie culture and stuff like that. And this kind of falls in that line. So, it'll be interesting to see in the future if more bicycle, kind of orientated shops will gravitate to this. I think it's the other challenge is the Nivis thing and all that.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of power sports shops also taking them on too.
Yeah.
Right. And
that's because they have the Nivis, like that all locked down. Like you got to be an automotive dealer or auto dealer to sell the bike. So that's why I think some bike shops are reluctant to get that designation.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And how did you get started with 7.9? Like where did all that come from?
Well, yeah. So with the, being said that, these bikes all should look kind of like a light BX.
Sure. Which I totally
other,
agree with, by the way. I think there's only so many ways to skin a cat,
Yeah.
whether you like that expression or not. I have 3 of them, so I don't like skinning cats, but I do love these bikes, and I do feel like they should all be made in the same way. So I'm just going to end it there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's got to look like this. So other manufacturers have, come to market, figuring that out. And I think it's nice too, having the crossover of compatible parts as well. So, you're not always, it's, you can, other parts are from other bikes are gonna, work with it. Yeah. So you don't have all these, brand specific.
How compatible, for example, is a Sur-Ron Light BX with the 79 bike?
75%, I believe.
75%.
75%.
So what's
79%?
79%?
79. Yeah, exactly.
What's the difference? Like what are some differences in? Like,
that's a good question.
I guess display.
Yeah, the display, which Sur-Ron doesn't really have.
Yeah.
Don't help him out with any of these questions.
Yeah.
You're on the spot now.
Well, like, more just like frame components, like seat mast isn't gonna, the rear seat stay is not gonna swap over, but like all your suspension components are swappable. Like, it might even be more than 75%.
Yeah.
Seats the same.
All the stuff that really matters, like wheels, bars, forks, all the stuff that goes on the
Fenders.
frame.
Yeah.
Like you'll never really want to
all work.
replace the frame into like frame parts, but
Yeah.
cool.
So
Yeah, and in addition
which
to
makes
that,
sense.
I gotta say, 79 bike does have some really nice features. That Sur-Ron doesn't have, like the reverse, like the NFC start. I find nice.
Yeah, and they've actually they've improved on the Sur-Ron design, which was I think really cool. It's a stiffer build. They've increased the size of the rear axle. Primary axle shaft is a little bit larger. They've done improvements all throughout the bike in terms of form factor and stiffening it up, which the Sur-Rons could use, like the
rear triangle.
Yeah,
really.
the rear triangle on a Sur-Ron feels like a wet noodle half the time.
Totally. And they snap a lot of the time. Like EBMX is already making like reinforced rear triangles for the Sur-Ron.
Yeah.
But I do like the simple, more or less heavier version of it.
Yeah. Well, and I think when you see aftermarket rear, the swing arms or whatever, they increase the length.
That's another thing too.
Which is, some might like that, but it's, I think if it is wheelie culture, and so it makes it more challenging to kind of get it up.
Gives you more room for bigger tires as well.
Yeah, but you're limited by your chain, your chain anyways. And so that's never going to change, right? You can only get such a large, so otherwise you got to dish your wheel, which, essentially you're riding a little bit offset. So you can only, move it, get it so big in there.
Yeah.
But
what are the 2 bikes that they're making? So they're making the 7.9 Falcon Pro, and then they make the GT, correct?
Yeah. So the Falcon Pro comes out of the box. It's 10 kilowatt peak, 72 volt, 35 amp hour battery. You get the display. You get access into the software, so you can tune all your modes
Through an app.
Yeah, through
the
an
app. Yeah.
So they allow you access to that, which is nice. You can detune it for kids, stuff like that. So, which is a great feature that I'm always wondered why Sur-Ron hasn't gotten there yet. So, which is why I kind of gravitated as soon as you asked earlier about why the 7.9 is. Basically saw that these guys are coming out, and then you got so much more value for your money, right? And so it was a no-brainer. We wanted to work with 7.9 and put boots on the ground, so to speak, to go see dealers and work with dealers, kind of get them out there. So
and I don't know. I saw the GT. It's a pretty sweet bike. Like
Yeah.
that thing comes with Lewis Techs and stuff, like specially designed for it.
Yeah.
Correct?
So the GT basically it's $1,000 more at retail or so. So that bike comes out 17 kilowatt, big, a little bit under 17 kilowatt. You're going to get improved brakes, which is needed on all the bikes. So they're a heavier duty brake.
Dot fluid.
No, there's still mineral.
Mineral, okay.
Still mineral, yeah.
But it is a really nicely designed brake. Like there is literal bearings in the hinges of the brake.
Yeah.
Like it's
Big calipers too.
The way they also put the brake reservoir on the Master is pretty cool. It's behind, so it's not like up and
it's really nice
clean.
with the bike.
They're clean looking brake, and then so you get a increased rotor size and not only like diameter but also thickness, which is more I think was you've seen a lot of trend going bigger diameter, but it's not really what we need. We need a thicker
Heat dispersion.
Yeah, we need a thicker rotor.
Yeah,
is been the constant issue, and that's why we have to step away from the mountain bike brakes and into a mid in between a moto brake and a mountain bike brake, and which is what these new Lewis brakes are. Yeah, no, they look like they're a great brake. Bigger calipers. Calipers on them, a beefier brake pad.
I also think the full moto brake on like these types of bikes is almost not necessary.
It's
like
too,
you know what I mean?
It's too big.
Yeah. Sorry. No, it's all good. Business to attend to. Running bike companies over here. Phones don't stop.
It's my son, actually.
No one needs to know. We'll cut that part out. We're big business moves over here, guys. I feel like it's a nice size brake, and it's also specially designed for the bike, which is cool because more products into the market that are designed for these bikes brings legitimacy to the market. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's taken a little while, but because we've tried, we've tried to swap some of the smaller motocross items onto these bikes. If anybody's ever tried putting a 85 fork on a Sur-Ron, I don't know, like powered bike, so to speak. They are notoriously front end heavy. They feel great.
Oh yeah, half your bike weight is in the front end of the fork.
They feel amazing. You can wail on that front brake and not worry about overheating it and stuff like that. It's awesome. But you try to get that front wheel up, and when you bring it down, it's just wham. It's totally not weighted correctly. Although I do think there would be a place with the snow track with those forks. If you've ever done, I don't know if you guys have done snow tracks yet, but
I didn't try it, but I stayed away from it just because it's so expensive.
Yeah,
and I think the range you get like 20 kilometers only here, right? So
in a stock configuration, they are really cool. Actually,
you tried it?
Oh yeah. I have several, and they are fun, and like they really do work. It does suit a powered up situation, controller, upgraded battery and motor. That's, the bigger fork because the front ski does kind of have an alignment or a tab that mounts to your fork brake, brake spot or whatever. And so, I've broken Fox 40s, sheared off well, and Fox 40s aren't appropriate for these bikes anyways. So
all y'all riding Fox 40, stop it. Stop it.
It doesn't make no sense. So, but in that situation, it's why I do still have a set of 85 forks that I'm thinking about just setting up one of the bikes like that. But they're fun, and it works really well. The more snore, the better. And whether it's the track and go, there's basically only two options in this category, which would be the track and goes. Look a little hokey, but they're very functional.
How many? What's your range on that?
I've gone all the way up like large hill, like to ski areas. It would be something you want to take extra batteries with you, like in a cooler,
for sure,
like and track along a trailer. You get up to the spot. and pop a new battery in, and then just play.
Okay.
But,
And top speed? What's the top speed on that?
Oh, yeah, I don't really. You're more because you're floating in snow.
You're floating in snow, you're having fun, you're playing snow,
they go.
Yeah.
They definitely go.
They'll do 50.
Yeah.
Maybe a little less.
Yeah, a little less. But when you're in deep snow, it's
it doesn't matter.
And it doesn't, and like I've seen done video of it, and it feels way faster, which is
so it can go in deep snow.
Oh yeah, and they perform better in deep snow.
Okay.
Yeah, much better in deep snow.
So you have fresh trails, fresh powder trails.
When it's snow day, get one of those out.
That's fun.
It is fun, and I mean,
how long does it take to switch between the tracks?
It is the switchover is
bit of work.
a few hours. Oh yeah, it's a good. If you want to do it right, it's
a project.
It's a good day.
Yeah, it's changing your tires, winter tires, summer tires, essentially, right? So,
yeah, if here in Canada, it's your half the season you can't ride, at least 4 months, 5 months out of the year anyway. So, you take a day or two in the beginning of the season, set up your bike and leave it set up for the winter. Like that. It is, I think it's definitely a viable market, and it's fun. It is a lot of fun. And like I say, the more snow, the better. It's a blast. So,
yeah, good luck with that in Ontario. We get nothing out here.
No snow.
No. Just rain and hail and whatever shitty weather you want, but no real good snow. Yeah.
The
one comes for a bit. We get it a little bit in pieces, and then it just goes away, right? So
yeah. That's why the coast was nice, because you literally go up to Squamish right out of the city, and then the only issue is, you got to kind of climb up a mountain. That's why I say you got to have get a trailer set up, figure out a trailer set up, put a cooler in there and take batteries in a cooler so they don't freeze on you.
Yeah.
But, and on the coast, it's traditionally not that cold.
What's the e-bike scene like out in Vancouver?
It's cool. There's it's not as big as out here, but definitely a lot of bikes out there.
Cool.
I built a lot of bikes out there. A lot of guys.
Majority of the riders are probably like trail riders.
Yeah, a lot of people on trails and stuff. A little bit, of us, play around downtown and stuff like that. But it's smaller population, so it's lesser not as many adopting so early, but late adopters, hopefully.
Yeah.
And where do you see stuff with I guess the culture of 7-9, the brand and the elevation of the sport? We're talking about things getting more legitimized and essentially, brands making stuff that's more specific, maybe having riders that are, obviously teams for these brands. Where do you see the sport going? And then how do you see 7-9 fitting into that?
Well, definitely see, to, see more, support from the companies. I think 7-9, what they're kind of trying to bring to the market is basically they're giving you, greater value, lower price at the retail level for customers. But furthermore, I'd like to see more adoption into creating supporting the scene and stuff like that. 7-9, from what I understand, has plans to introduce other bikes, smaller and bigger. Not just the powered bike size. So
cool.
And like I say, their whole motto is more value, less price, less cost. Yeah,
that's cool. Do you have any word on these new bikes coming out?
Not
Can
much.
we speculate?
Well,
Can we release unheard information on this podcast this very moment?
From what I understand, is smaller bike and bigger bike, and so basically modeling probably what the grandfather of the sport is.
Okay,
modeling
cool.
What they're doing. So,
yeah. The Uber Bee.
Let's hope that they would maybe listen to some rider input.
Nice.
From being involved, with supporting the scene and stuff like that. I know we want to 79 wants to. We want to support, get some riders set up. And then I think furthermore, it's important to get the feedback on how we can improve what we'd like to see, in terms of on these bikes. I think, little things like onboard charging, stuff like that.
And you have like channels to do this stuff? Like,
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sweet.
yeah. We work pretty closely with 7-9. So, and like hope to improve on that relationship for sure.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'd just like to mention it was through Trevor, that we got to give away that grand prize of the 79 bike Falcon Pro for our mega ride. So thanks for that.
Yeah, that mega ride was you guys, pat yourselves on the back. That was great. It looked like a lot of fun, and good on you guys for doing that. I think everybody in the scene has really enjoyed that.
Everybody enjoyed it. Everybody had a good time. Definitely.
Yeah, it looked like a lot
Thanks
of fun.
for the support, dude.
And
Really
thanks for the
appreciate it.
support. We do appreciate it. And
we were happy too. So.
And now, if you didn't get your chance to win the 79 bike, we have Trevor, set us up with both the Falcon Pro GT or
Pros,
Falcon Pro and
GTs
GT
in
is now
stock.
available in stock, and you can order it now through us at epiccycles.ca or come in store. We got a test rider here, and we got a few in the box ready to go.
That GT is like, you don't need to fix anything on it. You buy the GT, you don't need to do anything to it.
17 kilowatts on that little bike. It's
traditionally that would have cost you, and if you want to get a light BX in this power category, you're going to spend basically total with the bike. You're looking at 20, just under 20 grand probably. Essentially, you get this bike. I think the retail on it $7,300. So you get a lot of bike for that value.
And where do you see things going though? Like, so trying to like evolve the bikes and trying to get more rider input, and let's speculate on the coolest bike we can make in 5 years. What do you see on it?
Well, I think we could refine the powered bike form factor. I mentioned earlier, I used to do seat lowering kits for light BX. That helps for different size riders. It also opens up the cockpit a bit more, which is another thing I think that needs to be addressed with these bikes. They're a little bit form factor, a little bit small. You kind of find yourself riding over top of the battery quite a bit. So it'd be nice to see a little bit. Traditionally, we've seen seat risers is always what it is, but it's not necessary. You just really just need a seat extension, like to lengthen the cockpit. It's one of the things I had scheduled on my plate. We did do our own parts when I had the store or whatever. But it was, just a lot on my plate. So, I'm going to try to focus on, working with dealers, so to speak. So, but it'd be nice to see if somebody could do that in the future, and preferably the brands.
Yeah, totally.
So more access, into the features of the bike internally. Other than that, it'd be nice to see some, furthermore, in terms of where we see things going, hopefully legislation in this area that makes it so it's not such a gray area for people.
What kind of legislation would you like to see?
Well,
ideally?
I think personally, it looks a lot like low speed vehicle legislation, because these bikes, they're not meant for riding in terms like with vehicles, like has a motorbike. It looks like, I think they fall in the category of the electric scooters, unicycles, one wheels, electric skateboards, all this kind of stuff, which none of them are technically currently legal in any setting on the roadways, which is just not feasible. It's not realistic. I think in Canada, we our authorities here realize that, and they're not just blanket, banning them. So they get it. Their place is bike lanes, at bike lane speed. Doesn't matter that, a powered bike can go technically can go 90 kilometers an hour. If you're riding it at, bike lane speed in the bike lane, there's nothing illegal about that.
Sure.
And that's the place for them. It's not, and where you will get caught with fines is trying to pretend like you're a vehicle. You don't have plates. So you can't ride with vehicles. You have to ride it. I always tell customers, ride it like a bike, not a motorbike. So that means like
unless
bike
you're on
lanes.
the trails.
Yeah. And well, in a place where there's like, where, nobody,
Controlled course.
It's something like that. But, if you're in the bike lane at bike lane speed, it doesn't matter that your bike goes 90. If you're going, 25 or 30 or whatever, the bike lane speed technically is 32.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's not governed. It's, you can drive a Bugatti that's 300, goes 300 or whatever. But if you're going 50 in the 50, there's nothing to say.
I'm with you. I also think that like there's so many vehicles out there when it comes to like personal electric vehicles, like PVs, and like there are tens of thousands of people riding these vehicles in the city to get to work, to have accessibility, to get their family to school, to do all these things that like you can't just take these things away from people after you've let them use them for 5 or 6 years.
No, it makes
grow
no sense.
accustomed to them.
It makes no sense in terms of decarbonization and where we want to get to with, we want to, we don't want to, sprawl out more. We want to, get more people in our city cores or whatever, and not everybody can drive. And that's why it's important to have mobility things like this. It's a great positive thing. We need to figure out legislation around this stuff. And it looks like a low speed vehicle lane, I think, which is already there. Like it's the bike lane.
Yeah. I'm with you. And I also think the bike lane needs to change generationally. I think the bicycle has been replaced with, you're right, a low speed vehicle. And I think maybe the lane needs to change appropriately as well. And like, I'm a cyclist too. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like ideally, it's actually better for the cyclist. Maybe the lane gets a little wider and they get a bit more space finally. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. You'll have tons of people complaining about that.
Sure.
But it's the future. Like we can't have more cars.
No.
Like it's just, you can only have so many cars. Right. So we do have to increase the use of these lanes. And whether it's pedal bikes, electric pedal assist, scooters, unicycles, whatever. Like this is all positive things. You just need to have legislation around this area that makes it clear. This is how, furthermore too, I think it wouldn't hurt to, have like, it's like a written test, like a learner's test.
In terms of legislation and bikes that are probably a little bit ahead of that curve in that regard, we got the new XQi3. I was actually just talking to one customer that owns one. Yeah. And he says he uses it every single day. Basically, he rides it, on any street, no problem. It's built and ready to go as a low-speed motorcycle. It's got the proper headlights, proper signals, mirrors, all that jazz, right? And it's just registered as a, so you can go basically on any street.
Yeah, you can ride that on the actual street with vehicles. Yeah,
he can. So I mean, that's one. It's a different style of bike.
Yeah,
we call it a little bit more mature bike, maybe for the more mature rider. That's not that's really looking to use it as a commuter, right?
Yeah, as a bike. Yeah, absolutely.
But I don't know. That's
some dude from New York actually just brought one in.
Yeah.
Yeah, he literally has a New York plate on it. New York
plate
everything.
on it. That's right.
He was stoked
last week. Yeah, he loves it.
Yeah, he loves it.
So that's an example of a bike that's platable and 100% legal.
Yeah.
Registering it as a low-speed motorcycle. They don't go on bike lanes. They actually go on the streets, which is fine.
Yeah.
I think it's the up to 70, which in the city especially is no problem at all, right?
But that excludes that person from riding in the bike lane now.
It does exclude them from riding in the bike lane,
which is, and that's why I think, in terms of the powered bike, why I like it so much too is because I don't want to be excluded from riding on the bike path. You know, I think riding on bike paths is preferable to me than riding with vehicles. Like I know I took here in Toronto, I took from Vaughan here into downtown. I took the Parkway or whatever in this path, and it was amazing. It was long.
Humber path.
Yeah, Humber
Beautiful.
path. And man, it was beautiful. It's long. It's twisty and windy. It was a great time.
Yeah,
you
as long as you're not a dick.
Yeah.
Like there's just people going non-bike lane speeds
Yeah.
on the bike lane.
Exactly.
And that's kind of the
You can get your license and drive like an idiot. You know,
Sure.
Like, and it's like anything. So you need to drive responsibly. If you have whether you have a license or you have a bike and that's
So it's
riding on bike paths.
It's almost like we need to develop a whole new class of bikes.
Yes.
Is what this is.
Well,
Yeah.
I think we just need to develop legislation for the class that already exists, because there is a new class of bike that already
is a new
exists.
class.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
It's,
And like,
it's out there. It's out there.
Yeah.
yeah, and I also
There's
think that like,
thousands out there with it, riding it every day, right?
totally.
So
And it's
great.
it's too late to put the genie back in the bottle.
No,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I think they should, we should have, 14 is, I think a reasonable age to start this at. And it looks like, some provinces you can get your learner's license at 14.
Can we make an exclusion for one dude?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
SV, one-way
yeah.
SV.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, cool.
Absolutely.
Amazing. Thank you.
But I think it looks like a written test that says, you understand how these are to be used, where they're to be used.
They have the same thing for snowmobiles, right? Snowmobiles and boats. You get. I think I did mine. I think I did mine in
Yeah.
12 years old.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So, same thing, yeah.
Like we can do that
Yeah.
with these, and it just states that you have the knowledge
Just understand.
to use these responsibly. Like you say, kids can get a license at 16 and be irresponsible too, right?
Sure.
So
And quite frankly, more irresponsible with a 2-ton vehicle as
Yeah.
opposed to a 100-pound e-bike.
yes.
Like it's the other people that they're putting more at risk in a car, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. So, this is definitely something we need to see, we need to advocate for, and, hopefully in time, the government will figure this out. Like it's only going to be so much here time.
I do
before-
believe, though, it needs to be an active solution from us as opposed to a passive waiting for the government to,
Yeah.
because they're going to just ban them.
Yeah, well,
which is not the
either
solution.
that or they just don't let's hope they figure out like what it looks like.
They're not- I don't have faith that they will.
And I think they'll try to be something stupid that's not really feasible. Like it's got to be governed at 30. Well, we all know that those governing devices will be like manufacturers even make them so they can be removed.
Sure.
Because you're not going to just make a bike that can just go 30.
Sure.
Sure.
Also, the Bugatti argument pretty much goes for all that too. Like, well, why do you get to drive a sports car that goes 300?
Yeah,
then?
they don't.
It's not even Bugatti. Any Honda or
Yeah.
can do 200.
Your
can do
Civic
200.
can do 200.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
for sure, 100%.
Exactly. They don't govern those,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And for some reason, they seem to figure that they're going to govern, govern the bikes or whatever. And currently, that's what it kind of looks like. Another thing that's a big misconception I think that is silly is does it have pedals? Like, well, so unicycles and scooters, they don't have pedals.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
how is it? It doesn't matter.
No,
if it has-
They don't have pedals, and because of that, they're considered to be illegal most places.
and
but
they're
that's
not,
a problem.
Yeah,
'Cause they shouldn't be, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
the pedals thing, I think, is dated.
From what,
That rule.
absolutely. From what I'm told, is scooters, anything, scooters, unicycles, electric one wheels, electric skateboards are actually technically
All legal.
all illegal, off-road, strictly off-road use, which just doesn't make any
They have
sense at all.
to.
Not-
The rules have to be updated.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense for the amount of people out there using them actively as we speak.
Yeah,
It's like that is how your city goes to work.
yeah.
That's how your city goes to their jobs. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you'll actually probably ruin the economy if you just ban them all, you
Yeah.
know? Think about all the Uber drivers
Yeah.
literally running the economy right now.
Yeah, what, like delivering?
Yeah.
Yeah, the delivery guys.
Dude.
Yeah,
You want
absolutely,
your food?
Yeah,
Make it legal.
yeah, and trying to be like, oh, it's got to have pedals. It
Yeah,
just
it's
doesn't make
ridiculous.
any. It doesn't make any sense. It
No.
doesn't matter if it has pedals or not. What matters is the right speed in the right area.
Sure.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And they got to figure that out and just get with it. Get with the times. Right?
Yeah.
So.
No, I'm with you. Right speed and right area seems like a good overview
Yeah.
for the whole argument.
Yeah, and if you're doing the wrong, then you get fined. Like
Yep.
that's it. And
Sounds
and like it's just
reasonable
like
to me.
with excessive speeding. If you 50 over or whatever, you get your car impounded for. And that's what they could do technically with these too,
Sure.
or whatever. I mean, right? Like,
Sure.
Like that's how it doesn't look like they just take your bike and crush it.
No.
Or whatever.
yeah.
It looks like you get fined, and then for more serious infractions, it looks like you get your bike impounded for a period of time, which costs you a shit ton of money.
Sure. Yeah.
Excuse my language, but you have to pay, and then you think twice about doing it again,
Yeah.
right? Or
totally.
doing it that where you choose to do the ride like that is in certain areas where it's safe to do so.
Sure.
So
Yeah. No, I'm with you, dude. I'm totally with you.
we'll just pray.
Yeah. I mean,
We'll get there.
In-
We'll get there.
in
It's
time.
gonna
I think,
have to
with,
happen, right? So
I think there's a good,
Yeah.
productive team in the neighborhood that we can kind of lay some groundwork.
Yeah, what you guys are doing here,
Mm-hmm.
I've always been super psyched on, and I think this is the outlet, by giving us all a voice in the community. This is the way.
Dude,
So
well,
thanks
thanks,
for
man.
thanks for having me to.
yeah, for sure.
express
Thank
the-
you also for your support and for
it's
joining
my-
us today.
My pleasure.
Yeah, absolute pleasure. Is there any advice to like younger riders or anything you'd like to say, just as a message from yourself?
Keep doing what you do.
I love that.
I love to see what the kids are out here have been doing. I know, through doing the retail on these, I've had a lot of experience with all. Another thing I love about these bikes is you get all types of riders, from old to young to old to male to female. Lots of kids adopting these, and they just love them. And I love to see what's going on, and the support out here for the kids is pretty cool.
Sick.
It's good. Yeah. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, we love to support.
yeah. Well, we hope to be a bigger part, and let's looking forward to more ride outs in the future, more events that we can be a part of. It's going to be a positive thing. So
Hell yeah, dude. 100%.
Absolutely.